In a house in the Scottish Highlands, a group of children were hidden away in a room of that house. One of them was named Jimmy. Their faces looked terrified even though their favorite kids' show was still playing on the TV. Meanwhile, their parents looked panicked as they prepared the car and gathered other necessities. They were getting ready to escape from the house, but soon after, a loud crashing sound echoed outside the room, and it turned out to be... Yes, a group of zombies had already arrived there and began attacking the children as well as the adults. Jimmy, who was still alive, was told by his mother to run away at once, and he dashed toward the church to meet his father, who was a priest. Jimmy's father had already surrendered to fate, believing that day to be the day of judgment, and he only entrusted Jimmy with a cross necklace that he must carry with him wherever he goes.
Yes.
28 years later, it was revealed that the rage virus had spread through northern Scotland and had nearly wiped out humanity. Meanwhile, on a small isolated island called Lindisfarne, a group of survivors of the rage virus had built a life there. They had lived there for years, in safety and under strict protection. They had their own farms and gardens, and they also caught fish from the sea to provide food each day. That morning, a man named Jamie woke up his 12-year-old son, Spike, because it was his very first day to go hunting zombies. This community had a tradition, a mandatory ritual, where every boy who came of age had to join a hunt on the mainland. The purpose was not just to find food or kill the infected, but more as a test of maturity. If they could endure it, they were considered worthy of becoming a grown man in the community. Spike had a mother named Isla, who had long been confined to her bed because of an illness that remained unknown until now. Isla's memory sometimes returned and sometimes faded, and she often hallucinated about meeting her father, who had long been dead. After visiting his mother, he and his father set off toward the mainland where the infected roamed. They passed through the gate where a woman named Jenny, the gatekeeper, warned them that if something happened out there, no one would come to rescue them. They would have to rely on themselves. After that, they crossed a narrow path that only appeared when the tide was low. After crossing the sea and reaching the forest, they found a suitable target for Spike. This zombie was the slow-moving type. Unaware that there was another one right behind it, Jamie told Spike to aim directly at its neck, since his bow was still not strong enough to pierce its heart.
He's yours.
Jamie did not kill the last zombie because it looked like a child. After that, they continued their journey to search for food and anything useful. A short while later, they arrived at an abandoned building. Although the place had likely been searched hundreds of times, there was still a chance they might find something useful overlooked by others. But suddenly, the sound of a crow echoed, and when they checked, they found a zombie hanging upside down with carvings etched into its body. Jamie explained that he was once a man who might have been punished in that way, and had since turned into a zombie after being bitten. Jamie told Spike that strange people roamed the mainland, and they were likely the ones who had hung that man. After that, Jamie ordered Spike to kill it so that his mental toughness could be sharpened.
Kill it. The more you kill, the easier it gets. Kill the bloody thing. Kill it! Spike, finish it! For Christ!
They continued their journey and came across the carcass of a deer. its head torn off and stuck in a tree. Jamie said that the one responsible was likely a zombie faster, stronger, and smarter than the usual kind. The kind they called an alpha. Jamie, slightly panicked because alpha zombies were extremely hard to kill, urged Spike to leave that place. When they reached an open field, Jamie suddenly spotted something in the distance. A group of zombies, with one that looked larger than the rest. Yes, that was the alpha he had been talking about. And then... They were forced to hide in the attic, not only because of the alpha zombie, but also because their arrows had run out. That night, they saw the alpha zombie still watching them from a distance. But then Spike noticed a huge fire burning on the far side, and he asked his father what it was.
Is it another village?
Nope.
What is it then?
I don't know. I've never been there.
At midnight, a herd of deer ran past the house, shaking the ground so hard that the abandoned building was about to collapse. Jamie realized it instantly and rushed Spike out of the house. He then urged Spike to head back, because the sound of the collapsing structure could lure both the zombies and the alpha to that place. After reaching the shoreline, they decided to cross it even though the tide had not fully gone down. On their way back home, they didn't realize the alpha was watching and trailing them from behind. Suddenly, a flock of crows swarmed around them, making them realize that something was behind them.
Run! Oh God! Go! Get down! Go, Spike!
After that, they partied all night to celebrate Spike's success in his first ritual. When Spike stepped outside to vomit, he accidentally saw his father with another woman, and it crushed him deeply because he loved his mother so much and believed Jamie had betrayed Isla. He went straight home to stay by his mother's side, and there he met Sam, his mother's father. Spike asked about the fire he had seen burning on the mainland that night. Hearing this, Sam immediately knew that the fire must have been caused by Kelson, a doctor who lived alone on the mainland. Spike was shocked, because all his life his father had told him that every doctor was dead, which was why no one could ever diagnose his mother's illness. In other words, Jamie had been lying. Sam tried to calm Spike, suggesting that maybe his father had hidden the truth for a reason, since Dr. Kelson was known to be a very strange man. The next morning, Spike asked why his father had never told him that on the mainland there was a doctor named Kelson who could examine his mother's condition. Jamie explained that Kelson had once been a doctor, but now he had gone insane. Jamie then told him that before Spike was born, the villagers once went to the mainland to search for food, and they got close to Kelson's area. To their shock, Jamie and the others saw hundreds of corpses lined up neatly, burned one by Kelson. Strangely, Kelson noticed their presence but only waved his hand, as if what he was doing was completely normal. From that day on, for 15 years, no villager ever dared to approach Kelson's territory. Spike also said that he knew about his father's affair with a married woman. Then Jamie, furious, immediately slapped him. And out of fear, Spike could only cling to his mother. Spike even told Jamie to leave.
God.
I'll go get some.
Get the fuck away from us.
A short while later, Spike planned to escape with his mother to meet Dr. Kelson on the mainland. He recklessly set the village barn on fire, then told the guards at the gate to check it out. While everyone was busy putting out the flames, Spike and Isla quickly made their way toward the mainland. But his mother, realizing their destination, immediately begged him to turn back because it was too dangerous.
And we have to go back now, back home. We have to run. Oh, Mom, it's okay, Mom. No. I know how to keep us safe. No. This isn't right. It's not right. Wait. I want to see a doctor.
Was he serious? He couldn't even protect himself when he was with his father. After convincing his mother, they continued their journey to find Dr. Kelson. When night fell, they rested in an abandoned building while Isla slept. Spike kept watch around the place, but he was so sleepy that he dozed off. And without them realizing it, a zombie was drawing near. Fortunately, Isla woke up and immediately killed the zombie, though she didn't remember it because her memory kept fading in and out. She had no idea that it was actually her who had killed the zombie. On another part of the island, a squad of soldiers was being chased by a horde of zombies. Some of them were bitten and had to be killed. The 3 remaining soldiers who survived entered a building and killed the zombies that kept coming. They then began exploring the tunnels inside, so dark and silent, but suddenly, meanwhile, Spike and Isla kept moving forward until they reached a flower garden. There, Isla once again hallucinated about talking with her father, because so many memories lingered in that place. But behind them, a zombie suddenly appeared.
Don't move.
They ran as more zombies began swarming in. Spike spotted an abandoned gas station and quickly led his mother inside to hide, but the place was filled with gas that had been leaking for years. As they were cornered by both the zombies and the suffocating fumes, one of the surviving soldiers suddenly appeared. The soldier's name was Eric, a man from Sweden whose ship had sunk during patrol after striking the reefs, leaving him stranded here. Not long after, they reached an abandoned train, and Isla stepped into one of the carriages after hearing a strange noise from inside. To their shock, there was a heavily pregnant female zombie about to give birth. Instead of fear, Isla's instincts as a mother compelled her to help with the delivery.
You're all insane.
Well done, Spike.
After killing the pregnant zombie, Eric told Isla to put down the zombie baby. However, Spike and Isla argued that the baby looked normal and uninfected, even though it was born from the womb of a zombie. And then, suddenly,
Get off the train!
when they were cornered, Dr. Kelson suddenly fired a tranquilizer made from a mix of morphine and silazine and it worked incredibly well. Dr. Kelson referred to the alpha zombie as Samson, who had been living in that area for 3 years. Kelson also coated himself with iodine, claiming the substance could protect him from the virus. After that, Spike and Isla were taken to his base before the tranquilizer wore off, and Samson went berserk again. Along the way, they passed pillars built from the bones of humans who had perished during the rage outbreak, and at the center stood a monument constructed from human skulls, which was named Memento Mori. Next, Kelson cremated Eric and placed his skull on that monument. Spike revealed that the baby they carried had been born from a zombie's womb, but strangely, the infant showed no signs of infection. According to Kelson, it was a miracle of the placenta, which had shielded the child from the mother's virus. Later that night, Dr. Kelson examined Isla's condition, though of course without any medical equipment. From his observation, Dr. Kelson was convinced that Isla had cancer that had spread from her brain throughout her body. With deep regret, Kelson admitted that he could not cure Isla's cancer due to his lack of resources, and that she would likely die soon. Spike desperately begged him to save his mother, reminding him of the long and dangerous journey they had endured to reach this place. But Kelson could only apologize, as there was nothing he could do to heal Isla. While embracing Spike, Isla signaled to Dr. Kelson to end her life so that she would no longer suffer and her son could live unburdened. Kelson then sedated Spike to keep him calm, and Isla followed Kelson into the forest to carry out her final act. Not long after, Kelson returned carrying Isla's skull, and Spike was asked to place it in the most fitting spot for his mother. Finally, Spike climbed the skull tower and placed his mother's skull at the very top of the monument. The next morning, Samson suddenly appeared as the effects of the tranquilizer had worn off. They hid in a small hole in the ground, but Samson kept trying to break in. After that, Kelson told Spike that he and the baby could return home, as their purpose there had been fulfilled. Spike then set off for home, feeling much calmer, knowing that his mother was no longer suffering. Throughout the journey, not a single zombie attacked them. When he arrived at Lindisfarne, Spike simply placed the zombie baby in a letter at the gate. Then he returned to the mainland. The letter was addressed to his father, saying that he was fine, and there was no need to look for him, because Spike wanted to explore the mainland and would return once he was ready to face his father. He also wrote about Dr. Kelson, who was not truly insane, and about the baby born from a zombie but uninfected. 28 days later, while roasting fish, Spike spotted a zombie in the distance. Without fear, he killed it immediately, but more zombies began approaching. He ran, only to find his path blocked by a pile of rubble. Moments later, someone suddenly appeared from atop the ruins. The person offered help as even more zombies were closing in, and Spike agreed.
I think there's a few too many coming now. It would be our pleasure.
All right.
Spike was astonished to see them killing zombies with ease. Their fighting style was acrobatic, and they seemed to enjoy every moment of it. After all the zombies were slain, one of them introduced himself to Spike as Jimmy. Yes, the same Jimmy from the beginning of the story, who had been given a necklace by his father, the priest. Well, that's the end of the story. In the end, even though a baby was born uninfected, giving a glimmer of hope, the world of rage is far from over. The future of humanity now rests on Spike's choices, whether he will continue to uphold his humanity or fall back into the endless cycle of violence. If you're still brave after hearing this story, then you're ready for the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the latest horror stories. Bye-bye.